Hello everybody, Jonathan Galarowitz with Keto Adventure Travel, coming to you from Minnehaha Falls in Minnesota, just outside of, well actually in between Minneapolis and St. Paul. So one of the best things that I always say that you guys can do when you're craving that next Walt Disney World vacation, that next Universal Orlando, Universal Hollywood vacation, cruise line, whatever it may be, make sure that you go and check out, well, be a tourist in your own hometown. So that's what some of these videos are going to be about. Being a tourist in your own hometown, checking out some of those attractions that you say everybody else has seen, but you never have. So we are going to be checking out some of this stuff around Minnehaha Falls. I keep saying Minnehaha Falls. It is a water, I almost said water park. It is a waterfall here in, as I said, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and it goes from Minnehaha Creek down to the Mississippi. So it's going to be a great little walk. Hopefully we can get some good views in, maybe check out some food, big on the food. So we shall see what happens, but let's kind of just take a look. We're starting actually down by the Mississippi, and we're going to be working our way back to the falls. So we'll see what happens. I'm coming up in one of the lock and dams, it says. Haven't been over here, so it's adventure for you and it's adventure for me. So, I took my hat off here because it's kind of windy, but as somebody who loves water, I don't have a fascination with how locks and dams work or how anything like that happens. It's not really something that I would want to say concerns me, even though it probably should in some regards. It's still really cool to come out here. They have a whole bunch of information all over the place telling you how everything does work. So if you're like me and you have no clue how it works, there is a bunch of information that they can give you, which is really nice. But this is a completely free thing to do. There's nobody here, which is kind of bizarre in my opinion, because it's something that's really cool, as you guys can see. But just looking at how it all works, this is lock and dam number 1, which is one of 29 lock and dams that provide a water stairway of travel for barges and tolls from Minneapolis to the Gulf of Mexico. Each year, more than 2 million tons of cargo passes through the lock. So, right there, that's kind of fascinating just to think about right there, just how much goes through this, and I think it's really cool. Is this a must-do? No. I think we're going to go to the waterfall in a little bit, which for me is the must-do, but I think this is still a pretty cool way to spend a little bit of a hike, and it's not that far from the actual waterfall, so if you're able to walk, I think that this is probably a great way to spend a couple hours, but I'd say spend about a half hour here. It's pretty nice. So just after the lock and dam, there is a path up here to the left, just coming up. I've seen some people walking by, just crossing the other side of that fence. I think that goes to Minnehaha Falls. I actually do not know. I do not have a map. So we are going on an adventure, and hopefully we all get to our final destination. Well, not quite at Minnehaha Falls yet. We did get to a park area, and I'm not going to show a ton of it, just because there's a ton of kids around, which is great. But, going around filming kids kind of seems kind of creepy. But we can kind of talk about some of the things they have. As I'm walking here, they have at least 5 different areas where you can have picnics, overhangs, little, I don't want to say pavilions, but, well, there, let me just flip it around and you guys can see what I'm talking about. So, you can see there's 1, 2 right there, and there's a whole bunch of other ones along the way. It is windy out though. One thing I really like, is they have this little tiny splash pad that when it's hot, so there's some kids coming into play, so I wanted to make sure we got out of there as quick as I could. Little tiny splash pad when it's hot. It's not hot today. It's actually feels more like a fall day today, but when it's hot, that's really cool. Just to the other side of that splash pad is a jungle gym, which that's definitely where the kids are at. So I don't want to go over there, but looks nice. I mean, to be honest, if there are no kids over there, I'd go and play on it. So, but that's that. There's also frisbee golf. Not that I'm a frisbee golf person, but it's probably also too windy today. I actually have no idea. I've never done frisbee golf in my life. But so I still don't know really where we're going. Hopefully, if I continue walking in the path I am, we'll get to the falls. If not, backtrack and we'll figure it out from there. But this is a very nice park. A lot of picnic tables, a lot of grills, like, you know, those camping grills. Put some charcoal on. I have a nice little barbecue. This place has to be hopping on the 4th of July, I can only imagine. But I think it's a great park. It's a great atmosphere. I mean, once again, as you can tell by me kind of walking through, not a ton of people. So weekdays, probably obviously better. Weekends, you know, you get what you get. But, oof, that is a cold wind. So we're still making our journey over to Minnehaha Falls. Being completely honest, I am slightly lost. But that's okay. That is part of the adventure. That's part of going out and about and just exploring these places that we've never been. Hopefully, I get there. And then when I get there, hopefully I can find the car. If not, I did put a pin on my Apple Maps so I can eventually find my way back to my car. Speaking of cars, here you do have to pay for parking at numerous parking lots, which is probably why I got lost. I chose to go to the free lot. So a little ways out compared to everything else. And when I say you have to pay for parking, it's $1 or $2. I decided to save my money in the hopes that the restaurant that we will hopefully be going to is open and has some beer to try. So I figured I might as well save some extra money for some good drinks, or hopefully good drinks, in just a bit. But as I said, I am currently lost. Apparently not near the falls, but just by a park it's a big park. It's a big park. So getting lost isn't that big of a deal, and it's nice out. I was worried it was going to be buggy because we had a mild winter. Not buggy at all, but the wind's definitely helping with that. Eventually we'll find our way back to the falls. I'm on a main path, so I'm not too worried. Biggest question of the day, do we take this side path? Let's go with yes. Worst that's going to happen is we just get lost, and we're already lost, so don't see any harm in it. Must admit, this path here is not as well paved as that other one, so that's, you know, make sure you have some good shoes on. I wouldn't recommend coming here with flip-flops or sandals. Not that it's a terrible hike, but that continues to go to a field. Okay. Never mind. We are turning back around because I don't want to go to an open field. That's definitely not a waterfall. More to come. You know, signs like that are incredibly helpful, and maybe there were other ones, but that is the first one I've seen. So waterfalls are this way. Good to know. One other thing that I am loving about this park is, as you can tell, here on the right hand side we have a walking path, on the left hand side a biking path. Now sadly, when I'm starting to film this, no one's coming, but I promise you there have been a lot of bikers and a lot of walkers, but that is something that's really nice. So if you're coming to bike, coming just to walk, you kind of have your own little area that hopefully you don't have to be looking out for bikers and walkers and crossing paths, almost hitting people. You don't want to be too dangerous. I mean, obviously we're not living dangerously here, but it does sound like a good idea. I wish more parks would do this. This looks to be a good sign. If you look over here, let's just zoom in. And sadly, I don't have that great of a zoom, but you can tell just through those trees, there's a giant building. Another pavilion right over here. Looks like a little band show. I think we're gonna head over that way. That might be our best option, since I don't know where we're going. But usually when there is a area that like that there are bikes by and there are people by, there's either a map or a waterfall. We will not know until we go over there, so let's go check it out. I am definitely right. That is the place for food, probably a restroom if you need it, and looks to be a bike and scooter rental. We'll go take a look. Still, our goal is to go to the falls, and I think I hear it. But as I mentioned, it's been a windy day, so that could just be the wind going through some trees. We'll find out. Let's take a look at the place straight ahead, and then we'll go over to, that has to be the falls, over in that direction. So, as you can tell, we finally made it to the falls. And I always say finally, like for you guys it was a couple seconds. For me it was about a 45-minute walk, but it's okay. So, we saw the falls. We're gonna go take a closer look at them. It's a 53-foot waterfall, and it's gonna get windy again, so my hat might come off, but 53-foot waterfall. We're gonna go take a closer look. I've been told there might be a path that goes around the fall to the backside. Couldn't tell from the video from the viewpoint up here at the top. Maybe we'll see something closer to the bottom. And just a heads up, to go down to the falls, you are going to have to take some stairs. So if you are somebody who cannot take stairs, you don't want to come down this way. Just view it from that top area that we were at. But if you do need breaks, as you can tell, some benches to take a break. Some of those steps look like they might actually fall apart as I walk on it, so just also be careful with that. Handrails at the sides, very nice. But our point is to get down to take a look at that waterfall. So that is something you do not see, at least here in Minnesota, every day. Bit of bad news trying to go see the 8th wonder of the world. You can tell this used to be a path. But, I mean, probably go out to where the guy's at over there. But there is no actual path around that waterfall. So that 8th wonder of the world is going to have to stay a wonder. We're not going to be able to see the backside of water today, but hopefully on the next Jungle Cruise expedition, that is something that we can do. I am going to be very honest. I'm the kind of person who could grab a book and just read it down here without water sound. As somebody who grew up near a lake, not a river, but definitely some creeks and rivers definitely nearby, I miss that sound. That sound, that view, that is something that growing up here in, well, not growing up here, but now living here in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, you don't get every day. And recently took a trip to Hawaii, and I recorded, just for the heck of it, I'm going to just take a step over the side here. Took a video of just the waves, just so you could listen to that sound. You could listen to those waves. You could always hear that sound, and that sound of that rushing water. I can't figure it out, but just like even looking at it, just looking at it brings me a sense of joy and a sense of happiness that most things can't seem to do. Like, they can, but you know, it's not the same. That sound, it just makes my heart happy. And well, it's probably high from some storms that we've had. I think it looks really cool. But we are still continuing on the path. Not really sure what our end destination is, but we'll figure it out as we go. I completely lied. I do know where our end destination is, and it's called the sea salt for food, because at some point we are going to get food, because I could use it, and it's always nice to check out a new place, especially when it's kind of right in the middle here. It's kind of like a nice central spot. You hope they have good food. I hope it's not. I don't know, in my mind I feel like it's going to be costly, because it's like, hey, we're here, you're going to pay for it. I hope that's not the case, but we shall see when we venture back up that way as to what the food looks like. But this view is just fantastic. Something that I like about the park is that we are far away from, not far from the city, but we're actually just a couple miles away from the city, a couple miles away from the airport. And there's all these little things to remind you that you're still by the city. But it's still quiet, still beautiful, still 100% worth a trip to check out, but I mean, and that's, you can tell it's actually pretty high. That probably used to be a path that went through there. But like I said, we had a bunch of storms that have gone through the past couple days. So I'm actually happy enough that the path that we're on is not mud, or muck or something, because that would just not be fun adventure. Well, it might be fun for you guys, but not fun for me. A couple bugs are out now down here. Don't have as much wind. They're kind of protected by these trees. But we have another path coming up here. You know, this looks like the path of where you go to die. I've seen too many horror movies, and besides that, it looks muddy. We are not going down that way. Nope. Too much of an adventure. Don't want to die today. Sorry, but yeah, I'm not dying today. Not feeling it. Not even a little. But it's there if you want to venture down it. I don't. Not feeling it. Not one bit. Alright, so after doing around an hour of hiking down by the waterfall, it's time to get some food. Because it's lunchtime and I didn't have breakfast before I came, didn't pack a picnic. I'm gonna get some food. Hopefully it's good. Catch up with you all in just a couple minutes. A couple minutes for me, a couple seconds for you. Over at, I believe it's called Sea Salt. So, catch up with you in just a sec. Alright, it is time to get some food. We are over here at Sea Salt, where I got the fish, fried fish tacos and a raspberry lemon shandy, which, cheers. It's fine. It's fine. Nothing I would ever get again, but it's alright. Before I forget, the drink and the fish tacos cost me, I think, $18 and some cents. Gave them a 20, got $1 and some change back. So we'll see how that goes. Don't know why I got a taco. It's kind of a messy thing to eat, and when you're looking at it, that fish is overtaking the taco. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it's dripping everywhere. So, we always do on the Facebook page these Epic Tuesdays, and this would definitely not make the cut. Between presentation and food taste, I mean, it's good, but it's just not great. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's just the amount of fish for everything else that's there is too much. Actually, you need to cut down on the amount that you have. Right, it is just too much. So, like, when we take a look at it, it's just like it's just too much fish. Which I do think I'd be happy about that, but I'm not, because it doesn't even taste like fish. Like, I need more of the cilantro and the onion than the fish. So
Yeah, matter of fact, what I did is
it's just a weird thing to talk about because it's just not there. So
Grand Avenue,
sadly, I feel like this is, it's not a hit, but it's not completely a miss either. Just kind of in the middle. So sadly, location is great, food is a little lackluster. All right. So the biggest question here is it worth coming to Minnehaha Falls if you are coming to the Twin Cities? Let's say you're coming for a convention, you have a layover at the airport. Like, we're really only about 15-20 minutes from the airport. Does it make sense to come here? Convention? Yes, 100%. Layover at the airport? No. I'm just not a person who's like, I'm going to go out and do something at after my layover or during my layover. I'm too nervous, personally. So that's not something that I'll ever do. But when it comes to vacations, you're ever here in the Minneapolis area, like, we're going to be talking over the next couple months about things to do. There's still many things I haven't done, and I'm going to continue to talk about them, continue to hopefully do them. But Minnehaha Falls, the falls itself, the walking paths, 5 out of 5. Loved it. Food, a 3 out of 5. No, maybe I had the wrong thing. You know, it's happened before. Not bad enough that I'm like, I'm never going to give this a chance again. But I will say, right now, a 3 out of 5 overall for the food experience, cost and taste, all that. But I do feel that there's a lot to do here between all the hiking trails, all the biking trails, and like we showed you before, like I showed you before, just looking at the bike rentals. Like, you don't have to bring a bike here, you can rent one. I love that. I mean, I didn't go on a bike, probably should have, but I did a lot more walking, and I can't take a bike down to the waterfall, so that's kind of the reason why I didn't do that. But all in all, especially on a nice summer day or in the fall, I can only imagine how much this place glows in the fall. I think Minnehaha Falls is a great experience and something that everybody should do when they're coming to Minneapolis, St. Paul. So if you guys want to book a trip to Minneapolis, St. Paul, I don't think this is the reason to do it, but we'll be talking about a lot of other reasons why you should come to Minneapolis, St. Paul. Or if you're looking at doing a Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Universal, Disney cruise, Royal Caribbean cruise, anything like that, you can always reach out to me at jgolarwitz at ketoadventuretravel.com. A lot of great deals going on. You can always ask me about any deals going on at Universal Resorts or the Disney Resorts. I can also help you book a trip to one of my all-time favorite places, New York City, Los Angeles. You know, those are 2 great places. Anywhere in the United States, let's go. Let's get going. Like, the world is out there waiting for you, specifically you. So reach out to me, Jake Galarwitz at ketoadventuretravel.com. We'll get you going, no obligation quote. And until then, guys, I'll see you on the next adventure. Jonathan Galarwitz with Keto Adventure Travel, signing off.